What if I told you that Libra's greatest emotional secret is this? They can look completely calm on the outside while a storm is tearing through them on the inside, and almost no one notices until it is far too late. That is the real mystery behind Libra and the moon. Because when most people think about Libra, they think of beauty, charm, grace, flirtation, diplomacy, romance, balance. They think of someone polished, pleasant, easy to be around, the one who smooths things over, the one who says the right thing at the right time, the one who somehow keeps the peace without making it obvious how much effort that takes. But the moon does not care about appearances. The moon is the hidden self, the emotional body, the instinctive reaction, the ache you do not explain, the private needs you cannot fake forever. It rules the part of you that wants safety, closeness, reassurance, and emotional truth. So when Libra energy touches the moon, something unforgettable happens. Feelings become filtered through harmony. Pain becomes dressed in elegance. And emotional survival becomes tied to one haunting question. If I tell the truth about how I feel, will I lose the love, the peace, or the connection I worked so hard to keep? That is where Libra becomes one of the most misunderstood signs in astrology. Because Libra is not emotionless. Libra is emotionally strategic. This is not a sign that usually explodes first and reflects later. Libra often does the opposite. It reflects, evaluates, softens, edits, and beautifies before revealing what is really going on. And when the moon enters this world, emotion stops being simple. It becomes layered, negotiated, measured, sometimes so measured that even Libra starts losing touch with what they truly feel. That is the seduction of this energy. And that is also the danger. Libra is ruled by Venus, not the moon. That matters. Venus gives Libra its craving for beauty, fairness, romance, reciprocity, and social grace. Libra wants life to feel balanced. Not brutal, not ugly, not chaotic. This is the sign that naturally notices what is off. A harsh tone, an unfair exchange, a cold response, an emotional imbalance in a relationship. Libra feels these things almost immediately because harmony is not just a preference for this sign. It feels like survival. Now bring in the moon. The moon shows what makes a person feel safe, what they need when they are tired, hurt, overwhelmed, or emotionally exposed. It reveals the emotional habits that come out when logic can no longer carry the weight. So if someone has strong Libra moon energy, or if the moon is moving through Libra, the emotional world becomes deeply connected to peace, relationship, and the need for mutual understanding. At first, that sounds beautiful, and it is. These are often the people who know how to make others feel comfortable. They sense tension quickly. They hear what was not said. They notice when the energy in a room changes by just a fraction. They know when someone is hurt before that person finds the words. They can be incredibly thoughtful, emotionally intelligent, and almost gifted at reading the space between people. But here is the twist most people miss. Sometimes that gift turns into self-erasure. Because Libra can become so focused on preserving emotional balance that it starts editing its own heart out of the story. That is the first big truth. A Libra connection to the moon often creates someone who deeply wants authentic love, but who may also fear the mess required to achieve it. They do not just want connection. They want beautiful connection, fair connection, gentle connection. They want honesty, but they want it delivered in a way that does not shatter trust. They want emotional truth, but they may hesitate the second that truth threatens to create conflict. So what happens? They hold back. They wait. They try to understand the other person first. They tell themselves it is not the right moment. They rehearse the conversation in their head. They soften the words, then soften them again. And by the time the feeling finally comes out, it has been polished so much that the original wound is barely recognizable. That is why Libra's connection to the moon can be both breathtaking and heartbreaking. Breathtaking because it creates tenderness, grace, empathy, and extraordinary relational awareness. Heartbreaking because it can make a person believe that love is something they must maintain through emotional restraint. And for a while, that can actually work. Libra knows how to keep things pleasant, how to de-escalate, how to restore rhythm when relationships become uneven. This sign can make chaos feel manageable. It can make other people feel seen. It can create beauty in places where other signs would only see damage. But the emotional cost is real, because every unspoken truth leaves a trace. Every swallowed reaction leaves residue. Every moment of forced calm adds another invisible layer. And eventually, even Libra's elegance cannot hide the weight of what has gone unspoken. This is where the story deepens. A person with Libra moon energy may not break down in obvious ways. Their crisis may not look dramatic. It may look like quiet exhaustion, emotional numbness, sudden distance, a strange emptiness in relationships that used to feel meaningful. They may reach a point where they realize they have spent years protecting peace, but never fully protecting themselves. And that realization changes everything. Because Libra's real lesson with the moon is not how to keep everyone comfortable. It is how to stay emotionally honest without becoming emotionally destructive. That sounds simple. It is not. For Libra, conflict can feel like failure. Tension can feel like loss. Being misunderstood can feel unbearable, especially when the intention was love all along. This is why Libra often hesitates before emotional confrontation. Not because they are weak, not because they are fake, but because they understand how fragile connection can be, and they are always aware of what one wrong tone, one harsh word, one impulsive moment can destroy. That awareness gives Libra tremendous emotional sophistication, but it can also trap them. Because if you are always protecting the relationship, you may forget to ask whether the relationship is protecting you too. That is the second major truth. Libra's emotional pain often comes from imbalance. Not just obvious betrayal or cruelty, but subtle imbalance. Giving more than receiving. Listening more than being heard. Understanding more than being understood. Compromising more than being considered. Libra can endure this longer than people expect, because they keep hoping that with enough patience, enough grace, enough love, the scales will finally correct themselves. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do not. And when they do not, Libra faces one of the hardest awakenings in the zodiac, realizing that harmony can become a prison when it is built on self-abandonment. That is the turning point. That is the moment the polished smile stops working. That is the moment Libra begins to understand that keeping the peace and being at peace are not the same thing. Once that truth lands, a stronger version of Libra is born. This is the evolved emotional expression of Libra and the moon. Here, Libra still values kindness, but no longer uses kindness to hide. Here, Libra still believes in fairness, but finally includes themselves in the equation. Here, Libra stops treating their own needs like a threat to love. And when that shift happens, this energy becomes magnetic. Because an evolved Libra moon type is extraordinary. They know how to speak truth without cruelty. They know how to set boundaries without becoming cold. They know how to hold complexity without rushing into chaos. They can create relationships that feel both beautiful and real, not polished on the outside and starving on the inside, but balanced in a deeper, more honest way. That is the higher gift. Not fake peace, not perfect love, but conscious harmony. The kind built on mutual care, emotional respect, and the courage to say what is real before resentment has the chance to harden. And in love, this energy becomes even more intense. Libra is a relationship sign. The moon is the emotional core. So when these two energies connect, love is never just casual. Even when Libra acts light, playful, or charming, there is often a profound emotional longing underneath it all. They want to be chosen, yes. But more than that, they want to be met. They want emotional reciprocity. They want tenderness that is returned, not just admired. They want to feel that the effort they pour into love is coming back to them with equal sincerity. And when that happens, Libra glows. They become warmer, softer, more relaxed, more open. Their charm becomes genuine ease instead of emotional management. Their beauty becomes radiant because it is no longer compensating for a silent ache. Their love becomes deeply healing because it is flowing from fullness rather than from fear of losing the bond. But when it does not happen, Libra suffers more quietly than most people realize. They may keep smiling. They may keep being thoughtful. They may keep showing up beautifully. Yet inside, the moon is keeping score. Not in a petty way, in a wounded way, in a way that asks, how long can I keep balancing this alone? That is why the connection between Libra and the moon is so powerful. It reveals that emotional pain is not always loud. Sometimes it is refined. Sometimes it is patient. Sometimes it is wrapped in perfect manners and a gentle voice. Sometimes it spends months trying to save something before admitting it is starving. And maybe that is why this energy touches people so deeply. Because so many know what it feels like to become pleasing when they are really hurting. So many know what it feels like to make themselves easier to love. So many know what it feels like to confuse emotional control with emotional health. Libra and the moon expose that pattern with incredible clarity. They ask a terrifying but necessary question. Are you creating harmony, or are you disappearing inside it? That question changes lives. Because the healing path here is clear, even if it is not easy. Libra must learn that honesty does not ruin love. Sometimes it reveals whether love was real in the first place. Libra must learn that discomfort is not always danger. Libra must learn that the most beautiful relationships are not the ones with no conflict, but the ones where truth can survive conflict. And above all, Libra must learn that their own heart belongs on the scale, not after everyone else's feelings, not after the room settles, not after the relationship is saved. Now, that is the deepest connection between Libra and the moon. Not rulership, but reflection. Not dominance, but tension. Not a simple story of romance and grace, but a profound emotional journey between harmony and truth. So the next time you see a Libra who seems calm, charming, composed, and impossibly balanced, look closer. There may be an entire emotional world beneath that surface, carefully managed, quietly aching, still trying to keep beauty alive while carrying more than anyone knows. And if you are the one living this energy, remember this. You do not have to bleed in silence just to be loved beautifully. You do not have to translate every hurt into something softer to make it acceptable. You do not have to earn peace by abandoning your truth. Real harmony will never ask you to disappear. If this opened your eyes, if it put words to something you have felt but never fully understood, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe for more deep astrology stories that reveal what is really happening beneath the surface.
Thanks again for watching the video. I truly appreciate your support. If you enjoy it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I really help a lot and motivate me to keep making more videos for you. See you in your next one. Bye.